This week on Premier Preps, a Metro League banger between West Park and Grant. Undefeated Dixon travels to Destiny Christian for flag football, and a battle for first place in the FVL between Placer and Roseville. Plus, I'm joined by special guest Haley Smith of Liberty Ranch High School. All the cool kids are watching Premier Preps. Welcome to episode 8 of Premier Preps. I'm your host, Nick Pecoraro. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and hanging out on your Sunday. We hope you've had a great week. We have certainly had a great week here at Premier Preps because we get to hang out with all of you every week. And we were hanging out in Roseville on Friday night for a Metro League banger between Grant and West Park. The Pacers are the reigning two-time Sac Joaquin section champion, a state champion as recently as 2 years ago, one of the standard-bearing programs in the greater Sacramento area. West Park, on the other hand, opened in 2020 and has rapidly established itself as a promising program on the rise. And if it wants to have section championship success of its own, then the Panthers are going to have to go through a program like Grant. They'd get their first chance with the top spot for the Metro League on the line on Friday night. The Metro League race has come down to these two, West Park and Grant. One's taking shotgun, the other one's taking the driver's seat. Here we go, first quarter. Grant with the opening drive, and quarterback Luke Alexander gets it to D'Angelo Knight, who shakes free from his man and scoots into the end zone from 22 yards out. 7-0 Pacers early on. West Park trying to answer on its first drive, but Jaden Jackson is chased down by Jeremiah Tui'ileila. This dude's got more than 30 sacks over the past 2 years, but the Panthers finish the drive as Jackson finds Jonah Cruz for a 15-yard strike, and it's 7-7 after one. Really digging these cream West Park unis, by the way. But Grant claps back in the second as Luke Alexander hits sophomore tight end Zoe Edwards a big first down across the middle, and he would also finish the drive with a 5-yard touchdown catch, and Grant goes up 14-7 with 9:19 to play in the half. Pacers march right back down to the Panther 5, and Leon Martin rumbles in for 6 more. Grant now leads 21-7, and they're looking to add on before halftime. Luke Alexander back to his 6'6" sophomore tight end, Zoe Edwards. A huge gain puts the Pacers right back into striking distance, but on the final play of the half, West Park's defense comes through. Gavin McDaniel with an interception in the end zone to keep it at a 2-score game. To the second half now, Panthers have to punt on their opening drive of the third quarter, and Grant's Tyron Carter takes over from here. A 47-yard return gets the Pacers down to the Panthers 17, and when you give Grant that type of field position, this is generally what happens. Luke Alexander to Brandon Lambert, who gets his toe down in the back of the end zone. That little piggy's good for 6 points. And sorry, West Park fans, but Grant was nowhere near finished on this night. Leon Martin punches in his second rushing score of the night, and it's 42-7 Grant. Now, Luke Alexander left the game in the fourth quarter with what looked like an ankle, but he was okay, especially after what he saw with his backup, Shiron Crump. On his first snap, he heaves a touchdown pass 35 yards to Kobe Shabazz. What a night for the Pacers, who take control of the Metro League race with 3 weeks to go.
I'm not going to lie, we expected a pretty gritty, close game, but I think we had a good week of practice, and we knew this team was coming in undefeated, and this is a great team. So I'm impressed by the way we locked in and how we handled West Park.
Time is winding down in the regular season. Only 3 more weeks before we hit the playoffs. Here's a look at who we've got in our Premier Preps Top 10 football rankings after 8 weeks of the season. Well, perhaps one of the best teams flying under the radar this year is the Dixon flag football team. The Rams held the top spot in the Division IV playoff rankings on Max Preps entering this week at 10-0. They traveled to Destiny Christian Academy, formerly known as Capital Christian, where the Lions are trying to make a playoff push of their own. A Golden Empire League matchup happening on Monday. What a win it would be for the Destiny Christian Academy Lions to come out and take down the Dixon Rams, who come into Monday with 10 straight wins to start the season. Here we go. First possession, QB Emily Morris looking downfield for Jordan Callan. Get ready to hear that connection a lot in this game. Same drive, Morris across the middle to Daisy Delgado, but a nice flag pull from Aaliyah Wilcox saves a tutty. For the moment, at least, Dixon gets down to the 2, Morris to Callan for the score, 6-0 Rams. Dixon playing some defense now, Destiny QB Addison Johnson under pressure, and the pass is broken up by Savannah Grafe, and the ball goes back to the Rams. Kiera Jasper takes the handoff, but Kyla Brown is there for the stop. The Lions get 3 straight defensive stops in the first half, including this INT from Willow Sandry, and Destiny Christian keeping it tight with 3 minutes to go. But on the very next play, Dixon takes the ball right back as Jordan Callan says, "Gimme that." The Rams take back over with excellent field position, and Emily Morris once again to Callan, their second TD hookup of the game, and it's 12-0 Rams at the break. But the Lions come out firing on the first play of the second half. Addison Johnson across the middle to Aaliyah Wilcox, getting the Lions into Dixon territory right away. But the Rams squash that drive as Daisy Delgado, smelling like daisies with that interception, and the Rams go back to work on offense. Emily Morris might be the best kept secret in the section at QB. Check out the dime to Jordan Callan for the hat trick, this time from 35 yards out, and it's 20-0 Rams. Dixon trying to add on. They go hook and ladder, but Willow Sandry is there to snuff it out for a loss, but it only delayed the inevitable. Morris once again to Callan for the 4th time on Monday. Did we just become best friends? Yep. Dixon moves to 11-0.
I think just having more girls come out, I mean, we had bare minimum girls last year. It was a new sport, like Emily said, and having this group of girls and even having a JV team this year has had so much progress, and we're creating a statement at the school. We're proving a point.
I think last year we had, 9 girls, almost not enough to fill the field, and now we have 26 girls this year.
Yeah.
So we're improving by a lot of girls.
Premier Preps is proud to be partnered with LENIE'S Pictures, which brings you the flag football top 10 each week. LENIE'S Pictures is your go-to spot for outstanding photos, banners, yard signs, and much more. Go ahead and scan that QR code and see for yourself. More on that later in the show, but for now, here are the latest Premier Preps flag football top 10 presented by LENI'S Pictures. Can't get enough high school sports in Sacramento? Well, Premier Preps has got you covered like no one else. You want game highlights? We got you. You want local insight? We got you. You want inspirational feature stories? We've got you. How about exclusive interviews with prominent players and coaches in the area? We got you. Scores, updates, top plays, and much, much more every Sunday at 5 o'clock during the high school season on YouTube. We look back at the week that was and keep you updated on who's got next. So follow along on social media and subscribe on YouTube to Premier Preps with me, Nick Pecoraro, because it's giving Sacramento high school sports the coverage it deserves. Well, if you want to be one of the cool kids, you gotta watch Premier Preps every Sunday. It's just that simple. And nobody knows that better than my next guest, Haley Smith of Liberty Ranch High School. She's a three-sport stud, excelling in volleyball, basketball, and swimming. And she's got the Hawks off to a record-setting start in 2024 with big aspirations as we head toward the postseason. Haley was cool enough to join me as a special guest this week. Miss Haley Smith flies in for the block and says, "Are you not entertained?" Liberty Ranch is already just 3 wins away from setting a new school record. All right, I am excited to be joined by this next guest. She is a junior at Liberty Ranch High School in Galt. She is a multi-sport athlete excelling in volleyball, basketball, and swimming. And she's also right at the top of her class with a pretty hefty GPA to boot. Haley Smith, thank you so much for joining us on Premier Preps this week.
Thank you for having me out, Ms. Pecoraro. I'm excited to be here.
Please call me Nick. No, Mr. Pecoraro. We're all cool like that.
Okay.
And it's a pleasure having you on. You know, I want to start this conversation by just pointing out to everybody that Haley is one of my favorite players to cover, not only because she's a tremendous athlete, but she's very personable. She's easy to talk to. She's full of energy, very engaging on social media. And in fact, we kind of started this thing on Twitter, right? Like, if you're a fan of Premier Preps and you watch it regularly, then you're part of the hashtag Cool Kids Club. Yeah. And so really, Haley is kind of the founding member of the hashtag Cool Kids Club. So above all of your athletic accolades and your pursuit of class valedictorian, this has to rank pretty high up there for you, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for the Cool Kids Club. Like, I hope everyone can join, and I think it was a great idea that we both put together, and I think it's a great like joke between us that we can keep together and we can actually inspire other people to join. Actually,
I love it. Well, speaking of social media, as I said before, you're very active on Twitter and Instagram, posting your highlights of your games and swim meets, and you know, it doesn't matter the season, you're always putting yourself out there. But not only that, you're also posting your semester grades, and rightfully so, because you're killing it in the classroom as well. I think you're the epitome of what a student athlete is all about, and you represent yourself and your school very well. What gave you that notion to kind of put yourself out there on social media and have this representation of yourself for anyone to see? Like, why is that important for you?
so actually, it started with my mom. My mom played basketball at Cal, and she was actually got the Golden Bear of the Year award. So she actually had the highest GPA out of every single athlete at Cal. So that really inspired me to do well in my school. And she's always pushed me my hardest to do well in school and put the student first, the head of athlete, because I think that being a student is really important. So like right now I'm first in my class, and I want to keep it there for my whole entire high school career because I just want to be the best. I want to be number one on tests all the time. I want to be the best one I can be. When I hear people get higher than me, I'm like, no, the next test, I try harder, I study harder. So then I don't brag about it, but I like secretly in my mind be like, yeah, I did do better than you and I like it.
I would venture to guess that competitiveness comes from that athletic family that you have. You mentioned that your mom played basketball in college. I know your dad did as well. Your brother is a collegiate athlete. Can you fill us in a little bit more about, you know, your family's athletic background and what everybody does?
Yeah, so my mom did play Cal. She played basketball there, and my dad played football there. So they actually met there, I think their senior years. With my brother now, when he was a senior, he had multiple scholarships for a lot of different schools. And he figured that actually being away was the best for him because he goes to Ball State in Indiana. But it shows that we're all trying to be like our parents. My brother's like my dad, and I'm like my mom, and my sister might be like my mom and go with that basketball route.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I've seen some pictures of your brother recently, and he has beefed up in college, man. He was already a big kid in high school, but man, he's put on some muscle out there. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Cody and your little sister. She's going to be a freshman next year while you're a senior.
Yeah, so actually before my brother left, we were like inseparable. At school, we went with everything together. We had so much fun. We would share everything together. It was amazing. We had a amazing relationship. He's the more funny part of me because I'm more serious. I'm more like the happy person. He's more of like the funny, so he makes me laugh. And then Lacey is my younger sister, is the 8th grader. Next year she'll be a freshman and I'm going to be a senior, so I'll be at high school like me and my brother were. And it's going to be so great. And I really hope she makes varsity for both sports. She's not a swimmer, but she might do track instead. But yeah, volleyball and basketball are going to be fun with her. I love it.
Tell us a little bit more about what Liberty Ranch is doing on the volleyball court right now. You guys are off to a pretty unprecedented start as far as the program goes. Why is this particular team playing so well right now?
We have some pretty great players on the team. We have Rachel Smith, who's so tall, so gifted. She's 6'6", and when she hugs me, she has to bend down, but I love it nonetheless. She actually has a full scholarship to play at Palm Beach Atlantic in Florida, which is going to be so far. And I'm so sad because she's my best friend. I'm going to miss her so much, but I'm so glad I get to be on the same court as her. And then we have Peyton Snow, who just passed her 1,000th kill, and she's going to have a banner in our gym. And then we have B2, who I'm also there hitting it, serving it, passing, doing everything. But we all like collectively as a team want to do well. So I think that's what's good. Like tomorrow in practice, we're not going in to just play around, have fun. We're there to win. We're there to be collective as a team. And we want to be the first team at our school ever to get past second round and hopefully get to that section final.
You know, we mentioned Cody earlier and how he's playing at the next level. Your parents both did so as well. There's no doubt that you're going to be playing somewhere, at least in my mind, in my opinion. You're going to be playing some sport somewhere at the collegiate level. Are you able to fill us in on any kind of recruiting or college interest that you might have at this point?
Yes, there's a lot of basketball coaches reaching out right now. I'm growing some relationship with some colleges, some in the Mountain West, the Pac-12, the Big Ten, and the West Coast Conference. And I'm actually really happy that my relationships have grown stronger after sophomore year, now that junior year we can speak more. So those conversations with them have been a lot nicer, and I'm glad that they're reaching out to me. We're reaching out together, and I want to see how these seasons go to see how much farther our relationship can grow and hopefully go to the next level.
This is an era where I feel like a lot of kids focus on specializing in just one sport. But why is it so important to play multiple sports in your mind? Like, how do your skill sets in one sport kind of help you with the others?
Well, I love being active, and what makes it even better is that I love all the 3 sports. Like, if you actually ask me, like, I would say swimming is literally one of my favorite things to do ever because there's like no pressure. I'm just swimming to swim. And when you're in the water, like my favorite is the 500, which is 20 laps. I just swim and swim in the water and it just feels so nice. But like the other sports actually interconnect so well. Like when I'm swimming, I have the upper arm strength and the lower arm strength or the lower leg strength from volleyball. And in basketball, I use my jumping skills to block and to rebound and that athleticism for defense. And volleyball, when I jump up in the air, it's from all that weight training, all that lifting, especially from summer, but also from basketball season. So they all interconnect really well. It's just hard to like move from one sport to the next because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm going to jump higher, or then I'll have to move faster for defense or something like that. But it gets a lot better once I get into season, and I'm glad I get to play all 3 of them.
When you're not playing sports or studying for school, like what other kinds of things is Haley Smith interested in?
Actually, today I went into my living room and started playing the piano because I've actually been playing piano since I was in kindergarten. And my mom was actually going to do a music major in college. So she's taught me as a piano teacher for years and years. I also love doing puzzles and I love baking. And I also love reading. I've been reading some great books lately from the library. It's really great. And I also love hanging out with my sister Lacey because me and her together are going to rule the world, honestly.
Haley, what else haven't we covered that you want to talk about tonight?
I don't even know. Like, I'm so glad I got to meet you at the game finally after years of all this Twitter, all this cool kids club fun, you know? And I'm so glad I got a shirt from you. I get to rep it up. I'm happy.
It was funny because I don't know if you saw in the comments on that post that
Yes.
my wife played volleyball in college too, and
nice.
she saw me, between you and Rachel, and she was like, I love how little they both make you look in this picture.
I laughed. I laughed that me and my mom saw it and we were laughing at it. I love it.
Well, Haley, I just want to thank you again for joining us on Premier Preps this week. You are one of the reasons why I enjoy doing what I do, just being able to cover student athletes like yourself who represent their schools, your teams, and yourselves in the right way. The best part is that you're still just a junior and we still get to see you for a whole nother year, hopefully playing with your sister in multiple sports next year. So keep up the good work on that.
Thank you for having me out today. I'll see you later, Nick. I got you this time.
All right, folks, there she is, Haley Smith of Liberty Ranch, volleyball, basketball, and swimming. If you want to follow her on social media, I'll leave those handles in the description section of this video. The founding member of the hashtag Cool Kids Club. Haley, thank you so much for joining us this week. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, Nick.
Premier Preps wants to know who has the best student section in the area, and this is your chance to prove it with our Premier Student Section of the Week. And folks, this is what I'm talking about right here. Rockland High School knows how to get it done. Remember, even if I'm not at your game, tag me in a short clip on social media of your student section going wild, and we'll see if we can get you a spot on the show. Well, these next two volleyball teams have had some ups and downs on the hardwood this season, but they've seemed to have found their stride during the Foothill Valley League portion of the schedule. Roseville, the defending section champs, came into Wednesday at 7-0 in league play with Placer hot on their little tiger tails at 6-1. First place in the FVL at stake on Wednesday night in Roseville. A Placer win would bring the Hill Gals into a first-place tie with Roseville, but the Tigers are looking to take a 2-game lead in the Foothill Valley League. Here we go. First set, Placer getting things going early on as Avery Shepard shows off the bunnies. A nice hit for the Hill Gals. And then a couple points later, Taylor Schellenberg off the feed from Kaylee Sellers. Placer looking good early on. But here come the Tigers, and here comes Addie Espley. She's got some springs too, going right down the gut of the defense, and she'd take over at the service line, and that was a good thing for Roseville. 4 straight aces for Espley, and the Tigers take control of set 1. Roseville's leading hitter, Madeline Magnani, off the one-handed set from Marissa Chambers. However you want to get it done. But Placer wasn't going away quietly. Riley Upton hits the deck to keep it alive for Kate Jones, who finds a soft spot on the other side. That made it 21-17 Roseville. But the Tigers finished set 1 25-18 with a big hit from Megan Newton. Switching sides for set 2 now, and more Roseville. Alexis Mitchell providing the offense. And then moments later, it's Kylie Sherson providing the defense. Roseville's feeling themselves, but Placer's trying to make a push. Morgan Boym with the back set and Callie Stofleth with the finesse to get the point. And then Kaylee Sellers finds an ace up her sleeve, but the Hill Gals still have a lot of work to do. And Roseville just wouldn't make anything easy for them. Madeline Magnani knifing through the back row. Roseville wins set 2, 25-10. To the third we go. Kylie Sherson with a little extra cheese on this fastball. And the Hill Gals have a big hill to climb, but a big bright spot was Avery Shepard doing all she can to keep it close. And then Brianna Donovan getting herself into the action. But this night just simply belonged to Roseville. Madeline Magnani throwing a block party at the net for the Tigers, who finish off the third set 25-9 as Kylie Sherson puts on the finishing touches on a Roseville sweep. The Tigers are firmly in the driver's seat for the FVL crown.
I think what stood out to me the most was the energy we had. This is like the best game we've played so far because of the high energy, and that just really brought us to our streaks and our win for sure. Just building from our losses made us come together more as a team, and we really improved in league. And now that we're on our up, we're going to stay up here for sure.
Once again, a big shout out goes out to LENIE'S Pictures, the official photography sponsor for Premier Preps. Not only have they provided quality photos for more than 10 years in this region, but they also specialize in making custom graphics for banners and yard signs and other memorabilia for any student, any season, any occasion. Visit LENIE'Spictures.com or scan the QR code and use the promo code NP7 for $7 photo downloads exclusively through Premier Preps. Now let's scan through the Premier Preps Girls Volleyball Top 10 presented by LENI'S Pictures.
LENI'S Pictures is your go-to site for priceless photos and memorabilia. This local family business has captured great action shots for a decade, but there's so much more to offer with a personalized touch for team and individual photos, game day galleries, banners, yard signs, festive mementos for senior nights, team banquets, or even just to cheer your kid on at their games, all 100% custom made by LENI'S Pictures, any student, any season, any occasion. So make those memories last forever and visit LENI'Spictures.com and use the promo code NP7 for $7 photo downloads exclusively through Premier Preps. That's LENI'Spictures.com, your official photography sponsor for Premier Preps.
All right, time now for our Infinite Performance Plays of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Infinite Performance Physical Therapy. Dr. Janae Young specializes in ACL rehab and injury prevention, but she also has plenty of programs to fit your specific needs so you can perform at peak levels. And with that said, let's see who else is performing at peak levels in our Infinite Performance Plays of the Week. All right, we're starting a little unconventionally, but awesome nonetheless. This is West Park's Lavina Baird, an international baton twirling medalist, and this halftime routine is lit. She's literally playing with fire. You won't find me doing that anywhere. Lavina Baird getting some baton twirling into the countdown. Atta girl. We don't see this every day. How about the one-handed set from Marissa Chambers to Madeline Magnani? Roseville getting fancy with 21 straight league wins. This next play sent in via IG by David Crockett III. Caleb Edwards of Oak Ridge says, "Don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through." The Alabama commit doing his best juggernaut impression. And then in the same game, this time Folsom in the end zone. Ryder Lyons with a dime, but Taniela Tupou with an even better catch. Proof if you send in plays via IG, you get into the countdown. Go follow my guy David Crockett at CrocShotIt on IG. Thanks for sending these in, David. Now how about Grant backup QB Shiren Crump? He has to come in for the injured starter in the fourth quarter, and on his first snap, throws a 35-yard touchdown to Kobe Shabazz, a great pass and a great catch, and that, folks, is our Infinite Performance Play of the Week. That does it for episode 8 of Premier Preps. I just want to send another big thanks and shout out to my guest this week, Haley Smith of Liberty Ranch, the OG of the hashtag Cool Kids Club. Folks, if you want to be part of the Cool Kids Club too, then all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Keep coming back every Sunday night at 5 p.m. right here on YouTube. Follow along on social media and spread the word about Premier Preps, because we are keeping high school sports in the greater Sacramento area covered in a way that it deserves. That's it for this week. I'm Nick Pecoraro. Thank you so much for watching Premier Preps. Bye.